Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that may link with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Only a few days left to go now until the end of the transfer window. Plus, we face a really tough game on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, early kickoff. I hate those, against Manchester City. And it's going to be a really tough game. Let's be fair to MIKEL ARTETA. It's been a really tough start to the season. Chelsea and City back to back. But if he could get something out of that, even a draw, I think it would be encouraging and something to build off of the 6-0 win the other night. But it's going to be tough. And only a few days, of course, to go to the transfer window. Tuesday is when it shuts. And, you know, it's a big window. It's a big window. Lots of things happening. MIKEL ARTETA himself saying in his press conference that there's still some things to do in the last few days because there are still some question marks and deals that can happen, but we will see. Those were his words when asked about transfer business. And we know there's going to be outgoings. What are the incomings going to be? Will Arsenal move for Aubameyang? I think this is going to be the really interesting one. He's available. Lyon are almost like practically trying to give him away at the moment. You know what I mean? You know, they've offered, 24 million. Then there's been talk of 17 million. Now there's talk of a loan. They are willing to get rid of Aubameyang. They've even admitted that Aubameyang himself wants to leave the club. This is a deal that can be done. Do Arsenal need another central midfielder? I was kind of looking at this. I was kind of looking into this, and I made a little list there, and I'm going to go through this list, right? So central midfielders that we've actually sold or have left the club: Guendouzi, Willock, Ceballos, and Torreira. And if, say, Arsenal let go Ainsley Maitland-Niles because he's been played in midfield, he hasn't figured at all at right back, but it looks like he'll be going. And let's say El Neni was to move, because there's been links with El Neni to Besiktas and also to Fenerbahce. That would be a total of 6 central midfielders that would have left the club. 6. And, we've bought in one, we bought in 2, in Sambi Lokonga, and we bought in Odegaard. So, that pretty much leaves Partey, Sambi Lokonga, Odegaard, and Xhaka as his central midfielders. If all of it, if El Neni and Ainsley Maitland-Niles left, that's only 4 central midfielders. We know that Partey's injury record isn't great. We saw when Odegaard was injured when he was playing for Arsenal in his previous loan move. So, to me, when I look on it, I think there's space there for a Aubameyang. There's definitely space there for a Aubameyang. He's a versatile player as well, where he can play deeper, he can play further forward. And I feel, by the way, I missed out Smith Rowe in central midfielder. So five central midfielders, because of course you got us. How can I miss out Smith Rowe? He's our number 10. But still 5. I think that leaves us pretty short in that area. Even without European football, I think we could do with another central midfielder, and he's available. So, for me, it makes perfect sense. That's to me, right? Whether it makes perfect sense to the guys upstairs, that's a different matter. I mean, you could even argue the fact that, they're looking to sell Miguel AZEEZ out on loan. Miguel AZEEZ, the very talented youngster. I watched him play last week for the under-23s against Crystal Palace under-23s. Very talented. I was chatting to his dad there. There's a lot of talk that they may send him out on loan. They really do see him as a real big prospect coming through the ranks there at Hale End. And they want to give him some experience. He's been linked with a move to Portsmouth in the Championship. And I think that, a Championship move, a League One move would be really good for this kid. Going out into the Championship really strengthens you, and it would be a good move for him. But it still leaves that midfield area short. You wouldn't even be able to really bring him into that area. So for me, I don't know. It's opening up that there could be a possibility that Arsenal could move for Aouar late in the transfer window. The later they move, the better deal they'll get on him. So that might be the interesting one on deadline day. And also, I think I've kind of said this all along. I think Arsenal are going to be one of these clubs that are going to be just sort of sitting around waiting. Are there any little bargains that pop up? Because anything can happen in this market. Look at the Cristiano Ronaldo situation. That's come out of the blue. I mean, you know, thank God Man City ain't going to buy him in time for him to play against us tomorrow. But that's looking like Cristiano Ronaldo is going to leave Juventus and join Man City. And a couple of weeks ago, there was no hope of something like that happening. And this is how the transfer market can move. The Harry Kane thing's dead. And now they're moving for Cristiano Ronaldo. However, if they move for Cristiano Ronaldo, which is, as I said, it's looking very likely and looks like that could happen, there's a lot of talk that Juventus might come in for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as a replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo, which, you know, after he scored that hat-trick, all of a sudden now, I guess, you know, even though it was against West Brom's B team, eyes will be opening of some of those clubs and saying, well, what about Aubameyang? The most encouraging thing about this is that MIKEL ARTETA came out at his press conference and said Aubameyang absolutely not for sale. So even though these links are appearing, and again, I don't see a lot of basis to these links that are appearing, Arteta has made it clear that Aubameyang is not for sale. So, and I think, you know, we saw it the other night. Aubameyang is going to be a very, very important player for Arsenal. I mean, there were even links with Lacazette as well to Juventus, because again, they're saying they might need a striker. But talking to Fabrizio Romano yesterday over on the Don Robbie channel, you can go and check out that interview with me and Fabrizio Romano. He said Juventus don't want Lacazette. They're not in for Lacazette at all. That is not, that rumor is just a non-starter. So let's see what happens. But I do think, you know, he was very bold in what he said, you know, Arteta, where he said that Aubameyang's not going to be leaving. So we got to trust him on that, and that Aubameyang will be staying. If Aubameyang or Lacazette do leave, what about this guy, Andrea Belotti? He was linked with Arsenal earlier on in the transfer window. The 27-year-old who plays for Torino, was in the Italian squad as well, figured in some of the games in their victory at the Euros. Now, his reported fee ran about £29 million, but Daily Mail suggesting that Arsenal might make a move for Belotti, dependent upon what happens with Lacazette, what, you know, I guess Aubameyang as well. Torino would be willing to take around £21.4 million for him. There was talk that he might go to Inter Milan, but that hasn't happened. They've gone for Joaquin Correa instead. So what's going to happen with Andrea Belotti? Will Arsenal try and make a move? He's got 1 year left on his contract. I think this is one of the reasons why Torino are just looking to cash in right now, because they know that, you know, come next season, he walks away for nothing, zero. And there's no club, especially a club like Torino, they don't want players like Belotti leaving for free. So could Arsenal make a move for him? He might be available towards the end of the transfer window. You know what? His style of play as a striker would suit the Premier League. You know what I mean? He's good in the air. He's strong, holds the ball up well. Maybe if Lacazette did go, it might be an option. So again, let's see if, again, I've got my doubts on it, but let's see if that's maybe something that might develop out. One person who definitely looks like he's on his way out is Willian. You know, MIKEL ARTETA again saying that, you know, they've been talking to Willian about an exit. He made it very clear. Willian didn't figure in the squad the other night, despite being fit. There's been all the talks of him going back to Brazil, Corinthians, and there's even talk that his contract might be just cancelled, just leaving him free to go where he wants. But I think, yeah, I think, you know, we can safely say that Willian is going to be on his way. What a disastrous signing. You know, every time I hear the name, I just think, why? Why did we sign Willian? It's just made no sense. And Eddie Nketiah. Now, there's talk. We know that Crystal Palace are really, really interested in signing him. There's talk that they may come in with another offer. They came apparently with an offer of £10 million, which was turned down. They're preparing a new offer. There's been suggestions around about 11, 12 million. Arsenal looking for 20 million. Not going to get that. There's going to have to be some sort of compromise made here. I think, you know, cash in, get some money on him. I mean, it's a dangerous one with Eddie Nketiah, because when you look at his goal scoring record with England's under 21s, where he beat Alan Shearer's record, you know, he just might turn up somewhere else and bang the goals in. But I feel that, you know, Arsenal do need to cash in. It's just not worked out for Eddie. They've given him a lot of chances. I still think he's a talented player, but maybe at a club like Crystal Palace, he may thrive. So let's see how that develops out. So the rumours are still there. Not long to go now till the window shuts. Will there be a surprise towards the end of the transfer window? We already know a lot of players are going to leave, but who's going to come in? I feel there's space in that central midfield. And what about a right back? It's gone really quiet on the right back situation. It's just been this Kieran Trippier rumour. And Trippier said to favour either going to Man United, and also Fabrizio Romano saying to me yesterday that, you know, Atletico Madrid are insisting on 30 million plus for him or no move. And I don't think there's no way Arsenal are going to pay that, and shouldn't, you know, for Kieran Trippier. So let's see how that one develops out. But thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to check out AFTV News Daily tonight. I'm on it tonight, so make sure you check that out. And we'll be back in the morning ahead of the Manchester City game with Transfer Daily. And we're going to have all of our content around the game. It's going to be a busy old day tomorrow. Let's hope we can get something. I mean, it would be such a morale booster to go and get something at Man City, somewhere where we haven't done, you know. For MIKEL Arteta personally, that would just, imagine going there and getting a win. Rumours are just squashed of any exit. And people then can then say, all right, let's give him a chance. Let's hope he can do that. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.